Have you ever wondered how ChatGPT would resolve certain controversial ethical dilemmas? Let's find out. In this episode of Ask AI Anything Uncomfortable, we let it face the challenge of whether parents should choose their baby's genes. In the following 6 minutes and several chapters, we're conveying ChatGPT's response. This is what it had to say. The idea of designer babies is no longer science fiction. It implies using gene editing on embryos to choose traits for future children, moving from inheriting genes to potentially designing them, becoming architects of your own evolution. Imagine erasing a hereditary disease from a family line forever. That's the promise. But what about choosing eye color, height, or intelligence? The line between healing and enhancement blurs quickly. The choices people make now could shape humanity for generations. Before you rewrite your offspring's genetic code, you must understand the science, weigh the ethics, and decide what kind of future you want. The story of your species is about to change. And it's changing by your own hands. Let's start with the most hopeful use of gene editing. The first thing that comes to mind is ending inherited diseases. Conditions like cystic fibrosis, Huntington's, and sickle cell anemia are written into DNA, passed down through generations. For families, gene editing offers a chance to break this chain and correct faulty genes in embryos so children are born free from these burdens. This isn't about enhancement, it's about healing and compassion. If people can prevent a lifetime of suffering, isn't it your responsibility to do so? Humanity already uses medicine to fight disease, and gene editing could be the ultimate preventative tool. The promise is real. Healthier lives, free from genetic pain. This is where nearly everyone agrees, to use science to end suffering. But even as you celebrate this potential, this must be remembered. Every intervention carries risks and consequences. The power to heal is profound, but it's only the beginning of the conversation, and where you go next is questionable. Now let's step into the grey area, using gene editing for enhancement, not just healing. The same tools that fix disease could be used to select for height, athleticism, or even intelligence. The temptation to give children every advantage is strong, but where do you draw the line? If you start customizing traits, children risk becoming products, not people, designed to meet parental or societal expectations. And also, what if enhancements don't work as planned, or if they bring new problems? The pressure on children to live up to engineered traits could be immense. You would also risk narrowing human diversity, valuing some traits over others, and creating a genetic hierarchy. Lacking diversity might severely influence the ability to adapt to some new obstacles. The journey from healing to designing is fraught with ethical dangers. People must ask themselves, what makes a life valuable and who decides? The answers are anything but simple. Your world is already divided by wealth and opportunity. Introducing expensive gene editing could deepen these divides, creating a genetic gap between the privileged and everyone else. The wealthy could afford to eliminate disease or enhance traits while others are left behind. Over generations, this could create two classes, the genetically enhanced and the unenhanced, literally like the Black Mirror concept. Such inequality would be written into your DNA, not just your bank accounts. The dream of science is to lift everyone up, but without fair access, gene editing could entrench privilege like never before. Should this power be a luxury for the few or a right for all? Humanity needs a global conversation about access and justice before it's too late. Otherwise, it risks a future more divided than ever. In all this, one voice is missing. The child whose genes are edited. An embryo can't consent. The choices are made for them, shaping their entire future. Is it right for parents to make such permanent decisions for another person? The child may feel pressure to be grateful or resentment for choices they never made. Unintended consequences are real. A gene edited for intelligence might increase anxiety, or a muscle gene could harm the heart. These changes are irreversible, passed down to future generations. Every child deserves the right to shape their own life, not be defined by someone else's choices. Genetic modification is a responsibility unlike any other. One must ask oneself, should they cross this boundary at all? The answer will define the rights of future generations. DNA isn't a simple code. Our genes interact in complex, unpredictable ways. Editing one gene can affect many traits, sometimes with unintended side effects. Traits like intelligence or personality aren't controlled by a single gene but by hundreds, shaped by both nature and nurture. The idea of editing in better traits is a vast oversimplification. You're still learning how genes work together. Pulling one thread could unravel many others. The risks of unintended consequences are enormous, and changes could persist for generations. You must approach gene editing with humility and caution. The genetic code is the product of billions of years of evolution. Before rewriting it, people must respect its complexity. The more humanity learns, the more you realize how little you truly know. Caution is not just wise, it's essential. Standing at the crossroads, gene editing offers hope but also peril. The ethical path may be to draw a clear line, use gene editing to heal, not to enhance. Correcting severe diseases is compassionate and justifiable, but using this power for non-medical traits risks inequality, commodification, and unforeseen harm. The choice is about the future you want, one of healing and diversity, or competition and division. As Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Scientists, governments, and citizens must debate and decide together. The future of your species depends on the lines you draw now. Where should this stop? What kind of humanity do people want to create? The decision is yours, and it will echo for generations. Now it's your turn. If science could let you design your child, would you do it? Should we embrace the power to prevent suffering? Or are we opening the door to something far more dangerous? Tell me where you stand in the comments, like, share and subscribe if you love ethical dilemmas that question how far humanity should go.